All right, just started my trek a few minutes ago to do Aconcagua, and there she is. About the summit's probably 10 or 15 miles from here, and it's 15 miles from here to the base camp, which is, or the advanced base camp I should say, which is just around the back of the mountain. So that's why those distances are a little different, but yeah, beautiful, clear, sunny. I'm covered head to toe in sun protective gear. Well, not my legs, I'm wearing shorts, but figure I can risk a little bit of sunburn on my lower legs in these first couple days because I'll be covered up the rest of the time. And in the meantime, it's hot down here. It's probably in the 50s or 60s, but when you're hauling 95 pounds, that's warm. You want cold temps for that. I saw some mules packing up here a little bit ago, but I was still getting my stuff ready. I'll have to catch a shot of a mule train. Little helicopter traffic. Hopefully not for emergency reasons. Rolling into Confluencia, which is the first approach camp, right around noon on, I think today is Tuesday, November 28th, 2023. Not too bad of a hike in. I don't know exactly when I started, but I think around 9. So 3 hours for 5 miles. I'm fine with that with the amount of weight I'm carrying. Feel good. Don't think I got too much sun. But it's day one of a long trip here. This is the Confluencia camp, which has surprisingly good everything. It's got, good accommodations that I wasn't counting on. It's got running water, flush toilets. Like, it does not feel like you're in the mountains. I've been to worse motels in the continental U.S. Pretty crazy. I'm up on this little hill overlooking it, and it's got some pretty good views. That is generally the vicinity of Aconcagua, the white on the high horizon there. Well, I just left Confluencia camp about 10 minutes ago, and I'm to this canyon here where you can either take a right up to Plaza Francia, which is a different way around the mountain that kind of veers to the east, or you can go straight for Plaza de Mules and cross over, which is what I'm gonna do. But it's a crystal clear morning with a very bright moon. It's almost like it's, dusk with dim sunlight out here. It's pretty crazy, but nice. Temperatures aren't too bad. But yeah, got a lot of work ahead. Today's a big day. Got 11 miles and over 3,000 feet vertical between Confluencia and Plaza de Mules, so better get cracking. Choppers. That's the way I'm going. Well, I'm up here between Confluencia and Plaza de Mules. I left Confluencia about 5 hours ago. I'm taking my time though. I'm taking a lot of breaks. This pack is killing me. A lot of stream crossings. And I got a party coming up here behind me. I assume they are locals. I'm curious if I'm on the wrong side of this stream. It looks like they're not attempting to cross it back over here. So I might have fucked up and need to go back down. Oh, hope not. Anyway, this is quite the grind. Yeah, I was indeed on the wrong side of that little creek. I opted for wet feet instead of turning around, so I just waded through it. It wasn't too bad, maybe 12 inches at the max. Looks like I'm getting to the part of the climb here where it's actually starting to gain elevation. I'm no longer on the valley floor. I'm on the side of this ravine, so there's a good bit of elevation gain at the tail end of the hike up to Plaza de Mules. So hopefully I'm getting close to that, although the last sign I saw said still 4 hours to go, so might be a little bit more misery here. Rolling into Plaza de Mules. Just under 12 hours, which is way more than I was anticipating. But as I'm walking toward it, I am reminded of how difficult it was moving up to 14 camp on Denali. And yeah, this is roughly the same elevation. I think it's 14.3, whereas Denali was 14.2. So probably shouldn't have underestimated this, especially with all the gear on my back and no sled. Not that it's easy to pull sled, but when you stop moving, there's zero effort. When you're standing around with 95 pounds, it just compresses your spine and your chest cavity. Something awful. All right, well, that's it for now. I'm gonna go find a place to collapse. It's Thursday, November 30th. There's my orange tent in the foreground. I set up last night actually in a different spot, but the wind was so bad I had to move it here, a little more hunkered down. Yeah, it's been very windy, probably gusts over 60 miles an hour. But beyond that, very clear. And the sun is strong, so I'm hoping it's burning off more snow. Yeah, there's looking up the mountain. That's pretty close to the summit right there. Gorgeous up here. I don't know what that building is, but I want to find out. It's pretty cool. I wonder if it's either storage for stuff up here or it's some type of research building. But I'm not gonna ask. Well, it's about 2 in the afternoon on Thursday the 30th. I got bored, so I walked uphill just a little bit, just on the trail up to Camp Canada, but only a couple hundred feet up. But it gives you an awesome vantage of Plaza de Mules in all of her splendor. And let's see, we've got Mules. Más Mules. So, it's our net's name. And my tent is that orange thing right there. And that's Aconcagua, the company that I'm attached to. Anyway, I figured it was worth a little overview. Gonna head up to 16K to drop about half of my gear up there and come back down. Sleep one more night at least in Plaza de Mules, but go for a little hike today. Go up the mountain and see what it looks like up there, and hopefully it's not too windy. Just rolling into Camp Canada here with the first half of my gear. It's kind of perched up here on this little mini buttress, and you can see Plaza de Mules down below there, but you cannot see Camp Canada from there due to those rocks. But yeah, I mean, it's flat enough. I'm sure the wind is a bastard, but that's what you're gonna get. So I'm just gonna find a place to cache some gear, and then I'll hang out here for a little bit, breathe some thin air before heading down, and I'll get a couple little clips on the way down just to show you the track, but it's really not too involved. That being said, you can see further up the mountain, and you can see some people on the trail. So that's pretty inspiring to see that there's a bunch of activity higher up. I mean, I knew there was, but it's nice to see it. There's looking up towards Nido de Condores. I'm standing right at the top of Camp Canada. And here's my little tent space that I spent the last couple hours hollowing out and building a wall around. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow to move here, but it might be the day after. Apparently there's a bunch of really bad wind coming, so we shall see. Lots of the track up from Plaza de Mules to Camp Canada is like this, just simple switchbacks cut into the rock and gravel. I did take a slightly wrong turn on the way up. I went below this rock formation. There's a pretty well-defined track that goes that way, and then a climbing team coming down informed me that I was on the down track, which slightly bypasses Camp Canada, so I had to go off trail on the way up to fix that problem. But I'm being intentional of taking the up track on the way down right now, so that I know it better for either tomorrow or Sunday when I come up to Canada, hopefully permanently. So this is pretty awesome and creepy. I got down into this abandoned hotel. It's across from the camp. Plaza de Mules here at the 14K. It's pretty wild. Just abandoned, and the windows broke out, and it just fills up with snow and stays frozen even in their summer. But I'm not the only person who's gotten in here. Looks like they've been occasionally partying it up over the years. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's garbage everywhere, but it's just neat. Let's go upstairs. I left the 3 guys I came over here with, the 2 Frenchmen and the German. Hopefully they play it cool, because this is next to the mountain police, so I don't want them getting all riled up over some harmless trespassing. You can camp in here, though. wouldn't be that bad. Looks like a lot of people have. What's that? Aconcagua 2005. Cumbre. Huh. More of the same. Probably gonna boogie. Heading up at least to Camp Canada today, where my other gear is cached. But if that is very crowded, and if the spot that I built is taken, then I will continue with only what's on my back up to Nido de Condores. I have enough food for another day. And then tomorrow I will go down to Canada and back to Nido with my extra stuff. But ideally, sleep in Canada tonight and then move everything, maybe as a single carry, to Nido tomorrow. We shall see. Up here in Camp Canada, there's a little bit more commotion here than when I first got up here. More people are arriving. There's a weather window approaching here in 3 or 4 days, so people are starting to move up the mountain. Anyway, here's my tent set up with a decent wind wall so far, but I might add to it. And then the French guys that I've been hanging out with have set up over there in that yellow tent, so we're just lacking the German fellow below, and he's gonna come up tomorrow directly to Nido de Condores, and I think everyone, well, at least the other 3 of us are gonna go up there at that time. You know, separate but together, that sort of thing. So up here at Camp Canada, there's really not very much snow, and there's no available running water in the form of streams or otherwise, so you gotta come over to what snow there is. And here, let's see. I'm just gonna hold it like this. Pound up a big hunk of icy snow, and you walk it back over to the stove. And this doesn't seem like much, but at 16,500 feet, when you gotta drink, well, when I have to drink minimum 5 liters a day to stay hydrated, it's a bit of a chore. And the snow is also not very clean. There's rocks and pebbles and dust in it. So once I melt it, I'll probably actually boil it, just to be on the safe side, because this is a campsite, who knows what's in it. Then I kind of have to decant off the water off the top and throw away the, solids that are left in there. Okay. Well, I'm just pulling out of Camp Canada to go up to Nido de Condores, and as I'm leaving, said bye to the French guys. Tim, the German, came up the hill with the latest weather. He's teaming up with the French duo, And he told me, or he told us, that tonight conditions are still really bad. The forecast is still really bad up top, but the options are not good. So instead of resetting up a tent in Camp Canada and still having another shitty night of sleep, which I had, or retreating with my probably 72-pound pack at this point, I'm going to say fuck it. I'm going up, and I will spend the whole day piling rocks, building the biggest goddamn wind wall I can, and going to weather the storm up at Nido and hope for the best. But no good options in the Wednesday, Thursday weather window. Looks okay. It doesn't look great now. It used to look great. Now it just looks okay. So we'll see. Not really good news, but news. I'm a little over 17,000 feet up near this mini saddle area on the northwest flank of the mountain. Still a couple of teams in front of me here, but I wanted to take this video because I'm starting to get a different aspect of the upper mountain. It doesn't look quite so enormous from up here, so it's kind of comforting, although it definitely looks tricky at the top like everyone is saying it is. We shall see. Okay, I just got into Nido de Condores a few minutes ago. Talked to the ranger and mountain police for a moment. And now I gotta find a place to set up a tent, but it's really no good anywhere. It's wide open here. This is gonna suck. The wind is gonna be bad tonight, so probably gonna have to steal rocks from a couple different tent circles. That's not my orange tent. I'm probably gonna be setting up next to it. But yeah, this is Nido de Condores, Nest of the Condor, and I will be here for 3 nights, I think. Anyway, I'm not camping any higher than this, so this is the final camp for me. This is gonna look insane, but I just had a pretty good gust of wind, and I remembered I have additional outrigger points on my tent, so I'm using everything tonight. If she blows away, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed in physics. But yeah, this is what I can do, so I'm doing it. 80-mile-an-hour winds be damned. Nice view of the Andes off the backside of Nido. I am about an hour and 20 minutes into my summit attempt here on Wednesday the 6th of December 2023. I'm starting to see a little bit of pre-dawn light filtering through, so I figured I'd stop in this protected area here and take a quick video. Very thirsty. I melted 6.5 liters of snow yesterday, and I don't think it's gonna be enough, which is really pissing me off. Anyway, that's the way up. That's why I'm pointing at rocks there. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's about 7 a.m. I'm here at the high camp. Colara or Colada, something like that. I'll put the name correctly on the screen. But yeah, from here I go that way. I wrap around and I approach the summit from the other side. I'm going to take a quick look at my map, make sure there's nothing too crazy, but I think I'm a third of the way up in terms of summit day. Yeah, steady she goes. Probably right around 20,000 feet right now. This is the best view so far. Okay, scratch that last elevation update. Currently, I am now at 20,000 feet, or 6,100 meters. I just checked the map in greater detail. But pretty stunning. Starting to definitely feel the elevation, but also can feel how close I am to the summit, so hopefully I can safely stick it out. It's about 8:45 in the morning. Just stopping to take a quick breather. Kind of new part of the mountain here. And there is the summit. And boy, does it look close. But I have learned to not judge these things on their looks. It's not yet 9. I am estimating I will be on the summit by 2 if everything goes well. How frustrating is that? Okay, up here on the summit of Aconcagua, highest mountain in the Andes, in South America, in the Western Hemisphere, and anywhere in the world outside of Asia. And even though they say it's not a technical climb, I'm here to tell you it's extremely difficult. And especially the last push, the last 1,000 vertical feet, very, very steep, and you're so high above sea level, and the air is so thin. So yeah, they might say that some of the other big mountains are harder than this, but this is not an easy mountain. And it's got awesome views. And it just dwarfs all these 16,000 foot peaks around here. Okay, descending below Colara for Nido de Condores, where I imagine I will be spending another night, unless I feel really frisky about pulling my tent apart and heading down the hill, which maybe if I could scrounge up another liter of water, that might happen. That was the drama on the way down the mountain, because I had run out of water slightly before summiting, and oh my god, the dehydration. You're just in a windy vacuum, dehydrator up on a mountain like this. And I don't know how many pounds of water weight I lost today, but it had to have been 6. I drank 4 liters of water before the dehydration panic,
and that didn't even come close. I should have had 7 with me, which just sounds fucking insane to say out loud. But yeah, I mean, this is an extreme case, desert, very high mountain. Anywho, so yeah, that's why the lack of video on the way down. Trying to not die due to dehydration. Still managing my sprained ankle from when I went across the mini glaciers to the hotel, the abandoned hotel. So, a couple things to tend to that were more important than filming. But here's this, and yeah, we'll see whether tonight is spent in Nido or in Plaza de Mules. Okay, got everything packed up, heading out of here. Done sleeping at 18,300 feet. Not gonna miss that. Might miss the views, but heading back down. First stop, Plaza de Mules. Collect some gear, get rid of some garbage, give away some fuel and food, and then hit the trail. Kind of unsure where I'm gonna end up tonight. At least Confluencia, if not all the way out of the park and back to Penitentia's to spend the night in the lodge. Okay, that's it for now. Very, very cold. This section of the mountain between Nido and Canada is really cool. It's kind of soft. It's like almost sandy gravel stuff, and then just these big random rocks strewn around. It seems like haunted or something. I got a kick out of it on the way up too. I just didn't think to take a video. I lost about 1,000 verticals so far from Nido. We got 3,000 more to lose before I get back to Plaza de Mules. And last view of Canada. And then down to Plaza de Mules. Threw out what I could throw out. Gave away what I could give away. Now I'm all packed up, pulling out of Plaza de Mules here. So, see how far down the line I can get today. Bare minimum Confluencia, barring injury. But ideally, Horcones and then Penitentes for a shower. We shall see. Got mules coming. Mules going. It's a full-blown mule jamboree around here. They seem to know the deal, though. Woke up this morning at Nido de Condoras and finally made it back out to the trailhead. It's been a long couple of days.